I like to have a little talk here in the park because, like you already know by now, at least the viewers that know me already, I enjoy sharing some value apart from the game that we play with the reaction and all that kind of stuff too that helps grow the channel because that's what people search. It's easy and it's fun to watch and it's easy to watch. So I don't judge that, even though I'm doing a commentary sort of thing or reacting on other people's stuff. But it's just playing the game. And at the end of the day, what I love is to continue making vlogs, sharing my music, and give value. So whenever I can, I just like to talk to you directly and give you advice or tips or just personal experience, whatever you want to call it, because that's important. That's important. That's important. Like I feed myself, and I'm feeding myself, and I feel always very lucky that when I'm searching for something that my soul needs, somehow it's presented to me one way or another. So I feel really blessed that way. So in whatever shape or form I can return the favor to the people I interact with, that's just a plus. So today I want to talk to you about. Yesterday we talked about just breathing and being in nature, and even though today I'm also in nature and it's a beautiful day, we're next to some cows here. I want to talk to you about the importance of learning to be by yourself and why it's important. Why it's so important to be by yourself? Well, intuitively you can already tell if you observe yourself, and I've done that myself. Every time we have feelings rising up or we're dealing with something and you are on your own, the first thing we do usually, as soon as we get that sort of clicking inside that moves your soul, moves your feelings, the first thing that we do, we reach for our phones and we see if somebody's online, or you even call someone, immediately trying to extinguish the sort of beginning of anxiety or panic or just unease that comes with knowing to be alone and having to deal or confront some fears that you have. And we all do this, so don't judge yourself, don't be hard on yourself. I've done it myself, but through times I've learned to refrain from that first action of I'm just gonna call, like, my ex or a good friend of mine or my mother or my sister or something like that. And it's just a way to sort of bring it down to yourself and not being afraid, first of all, of fear, because we always talk about similar things, but it all goes back to the same things. As soon as you avoid trying to reach out immediately for somebody, you have learned kind of to not fear the fear. So you just stay there and you sear in that kind of whatever it is that you're feeling, and you will see that before you know, it's not going to have that dramatic effect that you think it will have. Actually, it will probably subside very easily, and so you can go back to what you're doing. But it's very important, just learning how to be by yourself. It's a skill. It's something that will nourish your soul and will also show a lot about you, and also about what you don't need about yourself. So, and it's quite. I mean, maybe it's because I've done it for a very long time. It is quite easy, actually. You just have to be, first of all, conscious, aware of that. You have to be aware of your mannerism, of your habits. So if you catch yourself reaching for the phone or immediately sending out a message because you want to reply because you feel by yourself, try to refrain from it. I'm not saying that you have to cut off from the world, that's not the point. But you might agree with me that we do that way too much, immediately wanting to be with people, always being wanting to be with people. And some humans, they have that more than others. They always need to be surrounded. It's almost like they're afraid to listen to the silence of their thoughts, or the silence around them. So for those type of people, probably it's a very good idea trying to observe it and start to take time for yourself and refrain immediately to reach out when the feeling surges up. I mean, I empathize completely. I know when I felt anxiety and panic, especially in those moments, really hard, that you are alone at night. The one thing you want to do is just reach out because you feel so vulnerable, you feel so small, you feel so just engulfed with fear, and uh, and sometimes I did that, and and then all of a sudden I realized that I needed to work on those things, and I'm not going to go into details in all the process, but even though I can already tell you it wasn't that big of a deal. It's really amazing when you decide to confront your fears, how quickly all the baggage that was created in your mind falls away. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to start that journey. Don't be afraid to be by yourself. Actually, exercise that just step by step. Perhaps try to put off your phone like for 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Today I know it's hard, especially if you live in a city and you have a busy schedule and you rely on your phone. I have a business myself. I have my phone with me, and I try to listen to podcasts when I'm driving, when I do my deliveries, when I'm busy myself. Probably doesn't come across that way when I talk quietly to you, but I'm quite busy. I have my hands full with everything, and also with days that I'm putting a lot of energy in because I want to grow. So I understand, but try. Just always take it as a challenge. I know you can do it. Just put off the phone for half an hour and see how you feel. And when you try to reach it, know that you can put it on again. But you will see that if you take it as a game, you go like, okay, let's go on a little 5 minutes more, and you will see that slowly you start to create those moments for yourself, and you can include what we said yesterday about the breathing and about the nature, and that also about being by yourself, as centering yourself. So it all comes together one step at the time. So again, try to be by yourself. Exercise that being alone time. Don't search for anybody. Don't reach out for anyone. Don't try to sort of satisfy your needs by necessarily go buy an ice cream or like petting yourself because you did something good, immediately giving you some type of presents or whatever. Just try to practice stillness and be by yourself. And the best thing to do it, the best way to do it, it's if you have a park, like we said yesterday, or just a nice room you like to hang out in, and just be there and breathe. And you learn to be by yourself. Huh? How about that? Let me know what you think. So, this is the tip for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.